Tonight, the man at Heathrow who wants to see his husband.
You met your partner in October 2007 in London.
In 2007.
How did you do that if you weren't in the country?
The restaurant in Stoke with a secret door.
Give the wall a push. And we've got a hidden bedroom.
And wedding bells in Glasgow are silent when a man is arrested on his big day.
Imran! They arrested me!
At Heathrow's Terminal 3, a Brazilian man has arrived to see his British civil partner. They got married the last time he was in the UK, and now he wants to spend 6 months with his husband. Chief Officer Matt Dyson asks Officer Lee Salih to investigate because the passenger claims to have another important reason for his visit. He's on police bail and due to appear in court.
He says he was arrested after visiting a sick Greek friend in a hotel who had overdosed on cocaine. He says that he was not using the drug, but he was arrested anyway.
Okay.
We need to speak to the police. How serious, is the investigation into him, or is it something that they would let slip and just not be that bothered about if he wasn't actually here?
Yep.
If it is quite serious, is he somebody that we should be admitting anyway?
To find out, Officer Lee needs to know more about the passenger's brush with the law.
Let's phone the police.
Well, not until Monday. You know Monday?
I understand there are some charges pending, and I'd be grateful if someone can give me a call back as to whether or not he's required to attend a hearing on the Friday the 1st of May.
Thanks very much.
Belgravia police station is busy.
Minded in good health. Bless you.
While Officer Lee waits to hear if the police want to pursue a case against the passenger, her own investigation throws up serious questions about the man's immigration history.
He was actually arrested in the UK on a drugs charge in March 2009. According to his passport, he entered the UK in April 2008. As a visitor to the UK, he's only allowed to stay 6 months. So if he entered the UK in April 2008 and was still here in March 2009, he's overstayed by almost 5 months.
Officer Lee checks the passenger's earlier visits to see if he's made a habit of overstaying his visa. She finds the evidence she's looking for in his application to marry his civil partner.
And he confirms in this letter that he met him in August 2007 in a London nightclub. The problem we have with that is he was stamped in as a visitor in January 2006. There are no other entry or exit stamps for the UK in that period of time, so he must have overstayed here because he's only supposed to stay 6 months. He should have left the UK in the summer, but he was still here a year and a half later. Bless him.
It appears the passenger has twice stayed longer in Britain than he should have.
Okay, do you want to come through?
Officer Lee wants to see if there's anything in his bags to reveal what he's doing in the country this time.
Did you pack the bags yourself?
Yeah.
Did anybody help you pack? Are you aware of the contents? You know everything that's in your bags?
Yeah, I know everything.
And why were you arrested? Why did the police arrest you here? Why did they arrest you?
My friend bought a hell, he was drug in a hotel, and they called me for helping him. And I was helping him, asked to the emergency, but I was the phone in the hotel, so I did say the hotel, my friend used the drug, and then the hotel called the police.
You weren't using the drugs then?
No.
No?
I drink a lot Jack Daniels, I love it.
You like your Jack Daniels?
I love
What do you
that.
drink it with? What do you have it with? Coke?
Coke.
We're going back upstairs, yeah?
Upstairs.
Yeah.
Officer Lee has learned a little more about the passenger's adventures with the police. She has also found something to suggest that he might be here to work.
And then I'll interview you. He was carrying a lifeguard qualification ID. Is he doing that here? Because he's not supposed to. He's not supposed to work. My suspicion is he's working here as a lifeguard. How he's doing that, I don't know. Whether he's got some other form of ID that he presents, an ID card from another country maybe.
It's time to find out how the passenger has beaten the system for so long.
Mr. Toledo, come out, sir.
And to discover what he's up to this time.
Okay, so if you can just take a seat there for me. So why do you have the lifeguard ID?
Because I did the course. I did try to work for lifeguard when I finished the course, but no, it's not no work for me.
Okay, apart from your Brazilian passport, do you have any other nationality passport or identification document?
No. I did it before.
You
When I
did?
come in 2006, I was make for work, but no, I didn't take the. I get the prison for this for 1 month and a half.
What document were you using?
It's Italy.
Passport?
Yeah.
How did you get that? Where did
Yeah.
you get it from?
Here.
Who from? Yeah.
Okay.
Who from?
I meet somebody in the restaurant. He say to me, you don't have visa? No. So I make the passport for you. And I say, how much? 300 pounds. I mean,
Okay, where did you go to prison? In England?
Yeah, in England, yeah.
If the passenger wants to come into the country to see his husband, he'll have to convince Officer Lee that his travels have been legitimate since going to prison for using a fake Italian passport. At Heathrow, the story given by the passenger from Brazil is not adding up. Both his arrest for possessing drugs and meeting his husband happened during periods he should not have been in the country. Officer Lee suspects he's been using a fake Italian passport to get in and out of Britain.
I'm going to start from the beginning of your first time here, okay? How long did you say you would stay?
Couple 6 months, and I did stay 6 months.
So when did you leave the UK that year? When did you leave?
When did you leave the UK? Yeah,
you
July,
came in
July,
July?
yeah.
When was the next time that you entered the UK?
It's 2008.
That's a lie. You claim in your letter that you wrote to the Home Office that you met your partner in October 2007 in London.
In 2007.
How did you do that if you weren't in the country?
Which day? But which day did you apply for
How could you
partnership?
have met him if you weren't in the country?
I didn't meet him in 2008. I didn't meet him in 2007.
Well, that's what you told the Home Office.
You're wrong. I'm not liable though.
You've either lied to the Home Office so you can get your certificate, or you're lying to me now. All right? One of those things, they can't both be true. You can't have been in Brazil and met him. You say in that letter you were together from October 2007.
2007.
Yes. Were you in
Okay.
the UK in 2007? Yes or no?
Yes, in 2007. But I didn't go to Brazil and I come back, but I don't know which month I'm coming back, because I come to the Italy. I really don't lie. So try to me, serious. I try to remember things. That's the situation.
Right.
You
My
pressure
next
me,
question.
you
My
pressure
next
me.
question is then, how did you enter the UK? What passport?
Brazilian.
Where's the entry stamp?
Yeah, exactly. I don't have it.
Why not? How can you, as a Brazilian national, travel from Italy to the UK without getting a
By
stamp
boat.
in your
By
passport?
boat.
How would they not stamp your passport?
Because it's a normal boat. It's not like.
Even I go on the boat to France, they check my passport.
Depends
Why
which
don't?
boat you use, lady.
Which port did it leave?
It's not port.
Well, the boats don't sail from Italy to the UK unless you went on a cruise ship. So where did you sail from?
Serious, I can remember. It's 2007.
You need to start giving me some explanations, sir, all right? Because at the moment, your immigration history with the UK is not very good, is it?
Yeah, no, I see that.
Quite a lot's come out of the interview in the sense that I had a suspicion that he may well have been using another document of some kind. And he's admitted to me straight away that he did use an Italian passport to try and get a national insurance number. He won't admit to having used it to travel on, but my suspicion is he has, because the fact he doesn't have stamps in his passports for his claimed visits to and from the continent would lead me to believe he's used it. He's obviously admitted he's been here for 4 years on and off, pretty much constantly, living here. I think he's been working. He won't admit to it, but he's been working here. He's not a genuine visitor. He wants to live here. He's not a genuine visitor.
Even though Officer Lee is in no doubt about the passenger's status, she must refer the case to Chief Officer Dyson.
Okay. In my opening gambit was, have you ever been in possession, or are you entitled to, any other nationality document or ID? Oh, well, there was the Italian passport that I went to prison for a month for. Ka-ching.
So he's either overstayed or he's been
been
in and
using
out
a
using
dodgy
a fraudulent
document.
Either way, it
Yeah.
doesn't sit
He went
well.
to prison for a month. He used it to try and get an NI number, and it was deemed forged, because it was.
Has he used it to travel though?
He says not, but I
So-
don't believe that.
Well, but then he's damned by his own words. He's either used the document to travel, which again is illegal,
Yeah.
or he's overstayed. He can't have it both ways.
and he acknowledges that.
Right. Well, we'll just have him as an overstayer then.
Okay, no worries. Yeah, I'll do it.
Thanks. He's a serial abuser of UK law and the immigration system. He's overstayed twice. He's apparently, by his own admission, done a short period of time for using a false Italian passport, and he's currently under investigation for drugs charges. I don't consider that that's the sort of person I want to be letting in.
Mr. Toledo. Hello. I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
Which kind of bad news?
Bad news is that you're going to be refused entry to the UK. We're not allowing you in.
No, in UK.
Not coming into the UK, and we're going to send you back to Brazil on Sunday morning.
I don't understand. Why
Okay,
you
well,
let
because
me
you're
here?
coming here as a visitor, and you've been living here as a visitor. You're not allowed to do that.
No, the first time, but now I was married. It's another situation.
But you don't have the
You
right visa.
see, in this.
If you read your Home Office letter, sir, it quite clearly says
okay, no,
that
I
doesn't
don't-
mean you can stay and live
okay,
here. You
thank
still
you.
need to sort the
Thank you.
paperwork
Sorry
out.
about that.
All
Sorry
right.
about that. Thank you.
Have a safe journey home.
All right.
He's shown a blatant disregard, really, for immigration rules. He may not understand it. He may claim not to understand it. But the fact of the matter remains, that stamp in his passport tells him he can't work and he can only stay for 6 months. He's broken at least two occasions he's stayed longer than he should, so them's the rubs, I guess.
The police do not pursue the drugs charge, deciding instead it's better the passenger is kept out of Britain. He's put on a flight back to Brazil, where he'll have to hatch another plan if he wants to see his husband. The UK attracts a constant stream of overseas visitors. Many come looking for work and a better life. Some people try to beat the system to stay in the country longer than they should. One method is to exploit the entitlements that come with marrying a British citizen. Today in Birmingham, Chief Immigration Officer Kevin Jolly and Immigration Officer Tina Ooligan are on their way to a registry office. They're about to arrest a Jamaican man on his wedding day.
Who's been an overstayer since 2001. He did ask for approval for the marriage, but was informed at that time that he was not lawfully in the country. He has received a letter. In the letter, it's absolutely clear that he should return to Jamaica and obtain a correct visa, and he hasn't done it.
When the man contacted the Home Office seeking permission to marry, he revealed himself as an illegal immigrant. It's been 8 years since his visa ran out. Now he lives with a British woman, her 3 children, and their 6-month-old baby.
Obviously, his intention is to, having obtained the marriage to a British citizen, submit some form of application so that he doesn't have to go back to Jamaica. But this is unfair to all the other people who do go back to their countries, do request visas, do get visas, pay the fee, and then return lawfully.
Although the groom is in the country illegally, his relationship is genuine. The Home Office granted his British wife approval to marry, but explained he still needed to legalise his immigration status, or he would face arrest.
That's him, that's him.
He hasn't gone back, and thanks to his application, the team know exactly when and where to find him.
Yeah, do you want to come with us, sir? If you could just come over to the vehicle with me, please. You've received your certificate of approval for marriage, but with that certificate of approval, you was given a letter stating that it wasn't leave to remain. Do you understand? You can now be arrested under Schedule 2 of the Immigration Act. So you do not have to say anything, but it may harm your defence if you do not mention when questioned something which you later rely on in court. Anything you do say may be given in evidence. If you come with us now, we'll explain everything, OK? I understand it's your wedding day, but we need to have a chat. So if you could get in the back for me, please, watch your head.
Officer Jolly has to break the news to the guests that there'll be no wedding day.
All right. I'm very sorry to have caused this problem, but unfortunately the gentleman needs to be spoken to about his immigration status.
To the immigration
But
officer's
hasn't he got
Solihull.
documents to say everything is in order?
No, he hasn't.
No.
She was obviously stunned. Here she is turning up expecting her friend to be married, a particularly joyous occasion, and it's all gone wrong.
You were sent a letter saying that because you was being granted the certificate doesn't automatically give you leave to remain in the UK.
Why are you taking me? No, I don't understand.
Because you're now under arrest under Schedule 2, which means that you could be removed from the UK.
They're written to me saying that they received my application.
For the certificate of marriage, that's all.
Yeah.
You haven't made any further applications to extend your stay. And because you've already overstayed, it makes it harder for you to get the application now.
No, but I did get it.
You haven't been granted any further leave. So you're still an overstayer, which means you're not legally present in the UK.
Yeah, well, the Home Office grant me the permission to get married. I've been through that process.
Yeah, because your fiancé is a British citizen. We can't stop a British citizen choosing who she marries. But what we need to do is make sure that as the groom, you've got the right leave. And at the moment, you haven't got that.
That doesn't make sense to me because I sent for an application, yeah? You could have come to me there and then and find me.
When the application was sent out, the certificate of approval, there was a letter attached to that stating that you are liable for detention and removal, and I have a copy of that on here. Listen, nothing's set in stone at the moment. Let's go back and we'll have a chat, okay?
You have to make sure your status in the UK is lawful. It's your responsibility, and in the end, when circumstances like these occur, it's your responsibility. It's nobody else's fault, it's yours.
It doesn't look good for the groom. He'll have to convince officers Jolly and Hooligan that he's made every effort to sort out his immigration status. Otherwise, instead of going home to his fiancée and children, he could be detained and sent back to Jamaica. In Stoke-on-Trent, an enforcement team are getting ready to go out on a raid. They're targeting a business they believe is employing illegal workers.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this afternoon's jobs. The visit will take place at a superb Chinese takeaway just down the road called Hu Fook. The gentleman that's said to be there, he entered the UK some time ago, has applied for 3 extensions to a student visa, all of which have been granted, the latest one being 2 months ago. We have no record of him ever attending a course in the UK, and he and his wife are said to live at these premises.
Good luck. If the team find the man living at the takeaway here in Stoke, they'll want to know why. He's supposed to be studying at a college in London, 130 miles away.
Be ready to exit vehicles ASAP.
The takeaway is owned by the student's wife. She has applied to stay in the UK as her husband's dependent.
Evening.
Hello.
Hello, miss. I'm from the UK Border Agency,
Yes.
Immigration Service.
Okay.
Are you in charge? Are you in charge?
Yes.
You are.
If the husband is here under false pretenses, then so is his wife.
Rushing.
Officers spot the husband in a car outside the takeaway.
Hello, sir. How are you doing?
And they find another Chinese man working in the kitchen.
Nothing to worry about. Just call me college.
Come and have a quick chat
It's
with
all right, don't worry.
He don't know English.
You don't know English?
Can you tell him just to come and sit in the front so we can have a quick
You
look?
can
The
get
team
into
want to make sure each person in the restaurant is entitled to work in the UK. They start by questioning the husband.
Okay. How long you been in the UK now?
Nearly 5 years.
And what's your immigration status in the UK?
Just student. I just come to see my babies. Thanks.
The man and his wife have 3 children, 2 of them born in the UK, but it's news to the team. The couple have not let the Home Office know about their growing family.
Don't worry.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't understand why you are come here.
We've just come, part of our role, immigration, is to check
employees that the right permissions to work have been applied for?
Yeah, me. It's me.
You're the employer?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Have you got a list of your employees?
Yeah, you want the paper? You want to see the paper?
Absolutely brilliant.
As a student, the husband is allowed to work 20 hours a week, but he must be able to prove he's going to college.
So you're studying in the UK, yeah? Where do you study?
London.
And what's the name of the college?
I just been changed because I finished.
Well, you must know where you're studying.
Eh?
You must know the name of the college you're studying at.
Yeah.
And what is it?
I think I can't remember the name because I just changed.
So where were you studying before?
Just same college. No, same in London.
Yeah, what's the name of that college?
The business college.
And what was that address? What road was it on?
Oxford.
Oxford Road?
No, Oxford Street.
Oxford Street? And what was the post in London? What was the postcode?
I can't remember the postcode.
How long did you study there for?
Just 1.5.
1.5 years? And what qualifications have you got? None at all?
No.
Okay. Just take a seat for us, please.
The man appears to have little in the way of knowledge or qualifications to show, but he has some papers he believes will prove that he's a genuine student.
It's all right if I have a look at this. I'm just looking for proof that he's been studying. At the moment, I don't believe he's been studying. We get a lot of bogus students coming up. As you say, they're studying in London, working all the way up here and doing no studying whatsoever.
Even though the student can remember little about his studies, he's in the clear. He's provided a receipt for his tuition fees and proof that he's renting a flat near his college in London.
You're not going to be a big multi-millionaire businessman after all.
If he were to be a fictitious student, then he's spending an awful lot of money putting a pretty elaborate plan together. So as far as we're concerned, he's legitimate. He's here today to see his wife. They've got 3 children. His plan is to stay here for another 18 months on a course and then return to China.
The student may be genuine, but the team haven't finished at the takeaway just yet. In a passageway next to the kitchen, one of the officers has made an interesting discovery.
Showing you, just walking past, chair in front of what looks like a wall, move the chair out of the way, give the wall a push, and we've got a hidden bedroom. Obviously somebody's sleeping, well, living in here. Telly, bed, clothing, etc. Quite well hidden. You could quite easily walk past it and not see that there's a room here. Makes you think that obviously the person that's in here wants to remain hidden from anybody visiting the premises.
Next, the spotlight will be on the man found working in the kitchen. He'll have to prove he has the right to be in Britain.
5, 8, 8.
In Birmingham, the Jamaican man who's just been arrested on his wedding day has some explaining to do. His bride was granted permission to marry him, but he still needed to legitimize his status by returning to Jamaica to reapply for a visa.
At this moment in time, as far as we're aware, you are not lawfully in the country. You are an overstayer. It is an offence.
If you grant me the certificate of approval, so you could have refused me there and then I say, okay, no, we cannot grant you permission on the basis that you're an overstayer, so you need to do this and you need to do that. Why put me through that? Grant me the permission and then at the same time pick me up from there. That does make sense to me.
Another alternative is to come and take you from your home, but the situation is you may well be there with children. Now, what happened today, you have to admit, was the most gentle way of taking you out of the situation. Why didn't you just go back to Jamaica a long time ago, save yourself the money and all of this nonsense, get a visa and come back with a visa?
But it's not really just one thing to say, okay, this was the reason, definitely reason. But things just get dragged and I say, okay, there's that you need to do something about yourself now. And I started to do it.
Sure.
And I did it. And luckily, it was granted to me, and I said, well, God, I must be lucky.
Yeah.
But you don't feel so lucky.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, nice to have met you. I'm sorry it was under these circumstances, okay? And all the best in the future.
He's very compliant, truly hurt by the way the situation's gone. But it's something that's going to have to be done, so it's better to do it now rather than later.
After 2 weeks in detention, the man is taken to Gatwick Airport to be put on a flight back to Jamaica. It's a far cry from the dreams he had on the day of his wedding.
We make all the plans. Can you imagine that? Just imagine that. So we got food, we got the art, we got music. Everything was being prepared. And everything just fell flat. So it's just a waste in every aspect that you look at it. And it never has to be like that. I didn't want to go back like this. I don't mind going back. I know going back would have been a part of the process, but not like this.
Not all attempts to use marriage as a way of staying in the UK are based on genuine relationships. Today, a team in Glasgow are targeting a man they believe has gone one step further in his search for permanent residency. Officer Ian Stewart and Officer Jeff Hunter are planning to intercept the man moments before he gets married.
Today we're off to visit a registrar's office in Glasgow, where we are going to investigate an alleged sham marriage, and we've received intelligence which tells us that a gentleman is going to marry a British lady, and he may not be entitled to be in the country and therefore not entitled to get married.
Are you ready? Guys, we'll be downstairs.
Today's groom is a Pakistani man who came into Britain on a student visa in 2008. But his history with the UK border agency is not good, and suggests he'll try anything to stay in the country.
The target has been in the UK previously, claimed to be a Bangladeshi national, and he was claiming asylum, and his asylum application was refused, and he was actually removed back to Dhaka in Bangladesh. So his own credibility is in doubt.
The couple have no idea about the extra guests planning to surprise them on their big day. The officers must keep their presence a secret in case the groom gets cold feet and runs.
The plan is no one can actually see where we are situated. Mr. Khan, his wife and the witnesses will be brought in. We'll be here. This is where we'll make our arrest and make further inquiries.
The wedding party has arrived, expecting to go straight into the marriage ceremony. But the team have arranged for just the groom to be brought into the room where they're ready and waiting.
Hello, sir. You'd like to come in here for me, please? Yep, hello. I'm an immigration officer from the United Kingdom Border Agency. So I'm arresting you as a suspected immigration offender. You do not have to say anything, but anything you do see may be noted and later given in evidence. For the moment, sir, for your safety and for mine, I'm going to place handcuffs on you. So I'd like you to put your hands like that for me, please. Out of you in front of you like this.
I will not do it till I see my lawyer because...
no, at the moment, sir. Just put your hands up here for me. All right?
What I did
just keep them be explained to you, sir, okay?
You're under arrest at this moment in time as a suspected
I got all the legal documents with me.
Yes, listen carefully.
Do you understand?
I can't believe that. I mean, I got all the legal documents with
Do you
me.
understand?
I come through all the Home Office process.
Yes, just take a seat over here for me, Mr. Khan. All right? Right, so, can you tell me why you're here today?
Because I'm here to marry with my fiancée.
Okay, how long have you known your fiancée for?
Since August 2007.
And where did you first meet?
We met in the market town center first time. And we started dating each other.
Why are you marrying now, sir? Why are you getting married now?
Because I've been this lady from the last 2 years. Okay, and she's very caring, and we've been friends together first, and then we realized that we fell in love, right? And she asked me one day, and he said...
She asked you?
Yes. I said, you really like me, you really love me? I said, yes, I do really like you, love you, and I really care about you. And she did as well.
All right, Mr. Khan, is this a last-ditch attempt for you to stay in the United Kingdom by marrying a British citizen?
Well, look, to marrying a British citizen is not a crime, is not illegal, right?
I didn't ask you that,
No,
Mr. Khan. Listen to the question.
If somebody fell in love with me and I fell in love with you and we cohabiting each other, right, is not a crime, right?
Have you paid just to marry you?
No, I did not pay any single penny. You can ask her right now, she's there.
All right, Mr. Khan, what we're going to do now is we're going to take you to a vehicle which is parked at the back of this building.
Can I see my lawyer for 1 word? 1 minute?
You get a chance to possibly speak to him later.
You can do that later, okay?
No, I'd like to just have one single word.
No, just listen carefully, sir. I'm trying to explain to you.
Otherwise you can use force or beat me.
Well,
and I'll be screaming.
To this officer till he explains everything to you.
Whatever,
okay?
you kill me, you beat me, but I want to have...
Sir, please, there's no need for that kind of talk. We're not going to kill you, we're not going to beat you. I'm trying to explain to what's going to happen. Listen, Mr. Khan, listen.
You're under arrest, you do as we said just now, okay?
My got a mother heart condition, right, okay? You have to inform my brother at least.
Well, sir, we will...
No, first you go and tell you're arresting me. No, you go and tell arresting me.
But Mr. Khan, if you do this nice and quietly, then your mother won't get upset, will she?
You will be given the chance at the police station to ask who you want informed, okay?
All right.
And we will speak to yourself.
And we will tell everyone here what's happening.
Imran!
Let's go.
So that's enough. Don't shout.
Imran! 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 They're arresting me! Imran! Excuse me. Yaar, gazala se baat karo yaar. Excuse me, please.
No. Upstairs, you're not allowed up here.
Do this properly, sir.
I don't care who you are, just know you're not allowed up here.
Just one word with my brother, I will leave.
Not here, at the police station.
Yeah, what I did wrong, you tell me first.
We will tell you.
Explain everything to you.
Can you explain this immigration here? What I go through all the documents, paperwork here.
Explain everything to you, police station, okay? You need to calm down. Okay? Everything will be explained to you there.
Just sit in the car, sir. Okay. Just turn around, head down, keep your head down. That's it. Just sitting there.
We're going to go back up now and we're going to speak to the wife, we'll speak to the brother as well and let them know, fill them in with the circumstances, but we'll speak most importantly with her first of all and see what the story is that she's got to give us. Okay.
We're now going to interview the lady, so we'll see what happens here.
Well,
take a seat here, man.
Okay.
The team want to know what part the bride has played in planning the wedding. Will she back up the man's claims that they've been in a loving relationship for 2 years and that the proposed marriage is genuine? At the Ho Fook takeaway in Stoke, the enforcement team are questioning the kitchen worker.
If he has a passport? No. Thank you.
Chief Immigration Officer Sean Flaherty uses an interpreter on the end of a phone.
Hello. Claim asylum. Okay.
The man, who says he's an asylum seeker, claims he's just here as a guest of his friends and helping out a little in return.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely.
He has a letter from the Home Office about his asylum claim, which he keeps in his room.
What's this? Secret.
The hidden cubbyhole next to the kitchen.
Like Narnia. Fantastic, thank you.
He claims the letter confirms he has permission to work.
These are yours.
Officer Flaherty spots a second letter the man is less keen to hand over.
This one here, yeah, which you've quite rightly said, they will say there's no restrictions on you taking employment back in 1998.
Yeah.
But then, back in March 2008, you are not allowed to work.
Yeah, not working. I know not working.
Okay, right.
I only come here and I pay.
I accept that you're not getting paid, but in place of getting paid, you're given food and board. So it's work. Still work.
Officer Flaherty checks the Home Office records.
When was he refused asylum?
The worker has never reported since claiming asylum in 1998, and his claim has been refused. He is listed as an absconder and is not allowed to work.
Okay. Mr. Zhou, you're under arrest. Okay?
Yeah.
You're a failed asylum seeker, yeah? You have no leave to be in the United Kingdom, okay? So you're now under arrest. Do you understand that?
No, that's it.
No, okay. I'll break it down nice and simple. You're under arrest. You shouldn't be working, you shouldn't be in the country. You haven't complied with immigration so far. You've rendered yourself in this position at the moment, okay? You're going to come with me, we'll have a word outside, okay, my colleague's going to search your room. Alright? Okay, come to me. You've shown a continuing, blatant disregard for the immigration laws. Come here seeking our protection, and he hasn't done anything to kind of help himself or us. So he's under arrest now.
The team know that detaining and removing Chinese illegal immigrants is not straightforward. They will almost certainly have to release this man on bail.
The problem we've got is the length of time it takes us to get a travel document for a Chinese person. It can be up to 12 months, so it's almost certain that we're not going to get bed space for him for 12 months. Somehow we have to persuade him that he should report to us and that he can't work during that time.
The takeaway owner is legitimately in the UK as a dependent of her husband, the student, but she has been employing an illegal worker and could face a fine of up to £10,000.
You have to write to them. Okay, let me just explain what's happened. This gentleman here, he's not allowed to work.
He just helping me.
Helping's working, I'm afraid. He's not allowed to help.
He's also helping my children. Is he say working for my
He's not allowed to work in the UK.
So where he go?
He's going to be detained now. We're taking him to a police station where we'll interview him further.
Okay, man, your head. Go to the front. Take all your seats.
The team regularly find illegal immigrants who attempt to prolong their stay in the country by putting in baseless asylum claims. In 2008, the UK border agency sent 13,000 failed asylum seekers back home.
Asylum's there for a reason. Asylum's there to offer protection to people who genuinely need it. People claim asylum and then don't cooperate with us, and it makes a mockery of the asylum system. And it's, frankly, it's an insult to the people who actually are genuinely seeking asylum. He hasn't played by the rules, and I think he should be detained long term. Or we get a passport for him. That's my opinion. Right.
There is not enough room to detain all illegal immigrants picked up in enforcement raids, especially when it can take a year to get hold of their travel documents.
Just get to the door and then come back, mate.
After being interviewed, the man is released on bail. The owner of the takeaway will be fined up to £10,000 for employing an illegal worker. In Glasgow, a team are investigating what they believe is a sham marriage. They have arrested a Pakistani man who was minutes away from tying the knot with his British bride. He says they've been in a steady relationship for 2 years and are very much in love. Now it's the bride's turn to explain how she came to be betrothed to the man she knows as Jamie Rose.
How long have you known this man?
August 2007.
August 2007. Where did you meet him? In a pub, in a club, in a restaurant, in a house?
In a shop. In a car. It's one of my friend's pals, so I met him through a friend, and his friend brought him through to meet me. In his car.
In a car. So that was the first time you met, was in a car?
First time I met him.
Was that in a car park or was that just in the street?
Just in the street.
And what was the purpose of this meeting? Why did your friend bring this man to meet you?
Just all about talking to me and asking the things to do, like if I was getting money, like benefits and all that.
Did he mention giving you any money at all for the purpose of possibly getting married? Especially if you tell the truth.
No, he's never. He's offered, he's gave me money and that, but...
How much money has he been giving you?
£20.
What, is that every day, every week, every month?
Every week.
He gives you £20 every week. And what's that for?
That's just to help me out if I'm stuck with stuff like for gas and the lecky and that.
Whose idea was it to get married?
It wasn't mine.
Alright, did you fill in a form to get married? Because I've seen a form with all your details on, about your name, your mother, your father, and it's signed by you.
I signed it, but I never filled the form in.
So you didn't fill the form in, it was filled in for you by...
I don't know who by.
But it was filled in when you saw it?
I filled
Did Jamie not tell you what it was for?
No, Jamie just said sign your name there, that's what I got told today.
And has he ever mentioned to you about getting married so that he can stay here in the United Kingdom, stay in Scotland? Have you ever discussed that?
He mentioned something like that. He asked me, but I never, because he only mentioned something about, have you ever been married before? And I told him, no, I've not been married before. But he mentioned about married and that, but he never mentioned anything about getting married to me or anything.
So if Jamie had said to you, come on, let's go to Glasgow, we're going to get married, what would you have said to him?
I would have said no.
Have you ever had any intention of getting married to Jimmy Rose-Can?
No, just friends.
Do you believe now that he's deceiving you so that he can remain in the UK?
Yeah, I know. If I knew all this, I would never have done it.
Okay. I'll take you back through. Okay.
I don't know what she thought she was coming to sign. She thought she was coming to sign papers, and she had no intention of getting married, didn't know she was coming to get married. Why else he would come to a registry office? I'm not 100% certain, but she was certainly in no mind to get married today, so it kind of it puts the mockers on his explanation of why he's here today.
The team are satisfied the man's attempt to get married today was a scam to stay in the UK. And they caught him just in time.
If he did get married today, then ultimately he would have been in a far stronger position with the Home Office to submit any applications to remain in the UK, because he would have obviously been saying that he was in a marriage that was subsisting, and it would be harder for us with any applications that he put in to reject that.
The man is held in detention, awaiting his removal back to Pakistan. The team accept that the bride was an innocent victim of his scam. Each year, Britain welcomes 200,000 foreign students who come here to study. Most are genuine, but some students use college documents to enter Britain even though they have no intention of studying. Today, Officer Lisa Lee has stopped a student who tells her he's coming back to Britain to continue his studies at a college in London.
On arrival, he was very vague about what he studied, didn't know very much about his subject area, which is IT. So what's a URL, what does HTTP stand for? He didn't have a clue. Now, clearly, he's been studying IT for almost 3 years. He should have a better idea of what's going on than that.
He appears to know little about his course, and Officer Lee suspects he's not been studying at all. The passenger says he's a student at Churchill College in London.
All right. Do you want to just grab your hand luggage and we'll go down and get your other bag? Okay. All right.
A bag search gives a chance to find evidence that can back up suspicions about a passenger's reasons for coming to Britain.
You studied a diploma in IT, yeah? But you don't know what URL is or HTTP? Right, you never mentioned this college to me before. I did. No, you didn't. You've forgotten where you've got your certificates from, haven't you?
London College.
You didn't tell me about this college, sir. I specifically asked you and you didn't mention it.
Officer Lee has found some college certificates from a different college to the one where he says he studies.
You didn't tell me you went to the College of Professional and Management Studies.
I told you before.
You did not, sir. You said you enrolled in October 2007 at this college. This says you were studying somewhere else at the time. I wrote it down. So how do you get a certificate from a college you don't attend? Wish my university had been like that. We're going back upstairs, and then I'm going to interview you properly. You're not going to talk to me now? No? Fair enough. If you don't want to answer my questions, we can send you back to India without answering my questions, okay? If you don't answer, we can refuse you entry. Failure to cooperate with an immigration officer, yeah? He had some documents with him, some certificates from a college he's not mentioned at all.
to me on arrival. I specifically went through his study history in the UK, and he said he studied at one place for a year and then transferred to the college he claims to be studying at now. And he's got a totally different diploma from a different college that we've not come across before, so how did he get that?
Officer Lee phones the college where the passenger says he's currently studying.
Oh, hello, sir. It's Officer Lee from Immigration. What was his attendance at your college? Really? So why does he know nothing about his course then? So he was attending when? Right, from October 2007. All right then, sir. Thank you. Bye-bye. The current college he claims to be at is maintaining he has a very high percentage of attendance.
The college supports his story, but Officer Lee wants to know more about the certificates she found in his bag from a different college.
Okay, this college, the number is no longer in operation. So I will do a quick check online and see if I can get anything else for them. Well, it still has a website. Okay, I've just checked the Department for Innovation, University and Skills Register, which colleges have to be on if students are to be given their visas or extensions of stay. The college that you got this letter from is no longer on it, if indeed it ever was. So the phone number's not working, the college isn't on the register, but they do still have a website. But their latest news is actually from May 2007, so chances are it's closed down. So he's attending 2 colleges virtually the whole time to do the same course. He can't have been in 2 places at once.
The passenger appears to have been studying at 2 colleges at the same time. Someone's not telling the truth. Officer Lee wants to find out what he's been up to since he was given a student visa 3 years ago.
He's not a student here, I can just feel it. I just know from experience that he's not studying here, but we have to have concrete evidence that we can use to overturn his visa. That's what I'm going to go and get.
Rising immigration in rural Britain has brought an increase in illegal workers. In Wales, enforcement teams search the valleys for immigration offenders. Today, Officer Whitmarsh Knight is en route to a Chinese takeaway suspected of employing illegal workers.
Am I going to have any runners out the back? And then hopefully, when we get in there, there'll be some people we can actually remove out of it.
As 2 of the team enter from the front, Officer Whitmarsh Knight covers the rear.
Here we go. Hey! Right, trying to run. They're trying to run. They're trying to run. Right.
2 men are stopped, trying to escape out of the back.
Can you turn all off, please, for me? Run them out there.
And there are more in the kitchen. Along with the boss, 5 people are found on the premises.
Do you speak English? No. Do you speak English? No. Oh, don't speak any English, they say.
As Officer Whitmarsh Knight questions one of the runners using an interpreter on the phone, Officer Collins goes upstairs.
Hello. Just you in here, is it, mate? Is anyone else up here? Adult? Mum? Dad?
Mum and Dad.
Yeah? Downstairs. Okay. Heidi, we've got 2 up here, 2 children.
While 2 young children have been found upstairs, Officer Whitmarsh Knight has found out why this man was so keen to get away.
He's claiming that he arrived here illegally in 2003, that he came to Sunny Riska for fun, and he's only been here a couple of days.
But he's registered with a dentist.
Oh, there we are, register with a dentist, which you do when you're on holiday.
He admits entering Britain illegally. He is now arrested. As officers search for documents relating to the man they've just arrested, they find an asylum registration card that belongs to the second man who tried to run.
That's Immigration Nationality Application Registration Card.
These cards are given to asylum seekers. They store fingerprints and state if they're allowed to work.
But it actually says employment prohibited there, and even bigger at the back. It means that he's in the system. We have checked, and he is a failed asylum seeker. He's absconded.
You? Working? Yeah? Is that downstairs? No? Busy boy then?
All his appeal rights are exhausted, and he has since disappeared off the screen. So we're looking to take him into the police station so we can get the travel document application up and running for him as well.
Officer Nick Jupp interviews the father of the child found upstairs.
Is it the two children upstairs your children?
No, one child.
One child. Is that the boy or the girl?
Jennifer.
Jennifer, is it? Okay.
After you.
He finds a passport that shows he's in Britain legally via Ireland.
Irish. Ireland has sort of different set of immigration rules, and sometimes it is easier for foreign nationals to get Irish citizenship. If a child is born in Ireland, then it automatically qualifies for Irish citizenship. Then they're obviously allowed to stay in the UK as well because it's part of the European Union. So as far as I'm concerned, this family is fine.
2 out of 3 employees are not allowed to work. But there is still one more to be interviewed. Officers will have to find out who she is and why she's here. The criminal investigations team at Croydon deal with serious immigration crime. Officer Tina Leonette investigates cases of identity fraud. Just over a year ago, UK Border Agency took a call from a woman in America. She said that she and her brother had been victims of identity theft by a man and woman living as a married couple in Britain.
I'm just conscious. So basically we've got these two people who have stolen the identities of a brother and sister. They're pretending to be brother and sister for benefit claims, but they're actually, if not husband and wife, they're certainly partners.
Today, Tina's team prepare to visit the couple's home address for the first time. It's a big day. Tina has been working on this case for 6 months, a case that also involves serious benefit fraud.
So we've got an overpayment roughly about in excess of £100,000.
That's right, yeah. They've been claiming benefits since 2002. It will total over 100,000.
The real person left the UK in 1984. She went to the States to get married, and she's not been back since.
The woman they're looking for is suspected of stealing the identity of someone called Savitri Naidu. If she answers to this name, she'll be arrested. Living at the same address is the woman's partner, who uses the name Rajendra Naidu. According to Home Office records, his real name is Mark Singh.
But what we're looking for is evidence of who these people really are, how long they've lived in the UK, what documents they've got. They've been here a long time. They must have, they've established a life. So we need to find out exactly what they've been doing and how.
Hello, sir. UK Border Agency. Can you come in and speak to you? Is that all right? Yeah. Can you come in, please? Thank you. What's your name, sir? Mr. Singh. Mr. Singh. You've got a living room we can come and speak to you in, sir. Yeah.
What's your first name, Mr. Singh?
Hello, madam.
Mark Anthony. Mark Anthony. Do you want to have a seat, please?
The man has identified himself as the target, Mark Singh.
What's your name, madam, please?
Naidu.
Naidu. Okay. Savitri.
Viren Naidu.
And the woman says she is Savitri Naidu, but the team believes this name belongs to someone else.
And what nationality are you?
Well, Guyanese, but British as well.
Okay, the reason why we're here is that we have information that you have possibly assumed the identity of somebody else, and that Savitri Naidu isn't your real identity. Okay? I'm therefore arresting you on suspicion of illegal entry, obtaining a pecuniary advantage by deception, and obtaining property by deception. Do you understand why you're under arrest?
I'm not sure.
Okay, well, just explain that we think you've taken the identity of somebody else.
Well, I have no other identity than that, sorry.
Okay, right, well, we need to talk to you about it at the police station, and you can therefore explain your version of events, all right?
The woman is sticking to her story. Officers must now search for evidence to prove her real identity.
It's a money order. She's obviously sent home. It's got this address with a different name on.
It's got the name Kamali.
Which is similar to the name that we thought she really was.
That's possibly who she really is. So that's quite good evidence already.
As the woman's story begins to unravel, Officer Burkham finds some pay slips that may relate to her partner.
There's a pay slip here addressed to Mr. R.V. Naidu, so clearly he's been working at the hospital using that identity. You know, the sort of document you'd expect to find lying around the house of somebody who's using an identity. Is it Mr. Singh? Yeah. Who's Rajendra Naidu?
He lives at London Road there.
So why do you have all these documents in your house then?
No, he used to come here.
Sorry?
He used to be here also.
He used to be here.
Yeah,
So why are his
he's moved.
documents all still here then?
He let us come here for him.
Why are his pay slips here?
I have to say the truth, yeah. I have to tell you the truth. Let's go to the police station. I will tell you the truth what happened. Yeah. But to be honest and how.
You're using that name, aren't you?
Yes, I am using it.
You are. Okay, fine. All right, sir. No problem. We found some documents addressed to a guy called Rajendra Naidu, and Tina mentioned at the briefing that that she thought it's an identity that this gentleman has been using. So I just asked him about documents, and he admitted that he is using them. So we think he's going to be arrested for those offences as well.
The man confesses. He's been working at a hospital canteen for 5 years under a false name.
All right, okay.
Yeah, that's mine.
And amongst the haul of documents, officers believe they've just found the woman's real passport.
This is a good find. In these cases, it's always very hard to find out who the real person is. Passport says Kamini Sukram, born 23rd of February 1964, Guyanese. Looks like she's been here since 1995 when she was given 6 months entry as a visitor, and doesn't appear to have had a stay extended since then. So she's obviously assumed the ID we've arrested her under sometime after 1995.
Kamini Sukram came to Britain on a 6-month visit visa from Guyana, South America. She's been here for 14 years using someone else's name. With this stolen identity, she's claimed just over £100,000 in state benefits and even managed to become a British citizen. She's kept quiet so far, but with a house full of documents revealing 14 years of deception, it's not long before the truth comes out.
We're not here to tell lies, are we? It's just, you tell the truth and that's it, finish with. I've lied all the time and I don't want to, carry this burden of lying all the time.
It is a relief to let the judge know the truth, and as I said, I want the truth to let the truth be known.
At a Chinese takeaway in South Wales, 2 out of 5 workers have been arrested after trying to escape the enforcement team. The manager who employed them has been a British citizen for over 20 years.
You got naturalised in the 80s.
He decides to help Officer Collins question the remaining workers.
You're a boss, you're an employer. Do you have any documents to say that you can work here? Just so you can... You haven't got a copy. What's her immigration status?
Well, she was asylum seeker.
She's an asylum seeker, so she's claimed asylum.
Yeah.
What's the outcome of that asylum claim?
She's allowed to work.
Allowed to work. So she's got asylum, has she? She's been granted asylum, refugee status. When was it granted?
1996.
She was granted in 1996.
That's when
she made a claim. So she claimed in 1996. But when was it granted?
She's still waiting from her solicitor.
She's waiting for the solicitor, but she hasn't been granted yet then, has she? So you told me that she was allowed to work, so you've seen documentation saying she hasn't worked, but you can't have. She's just said she hasn't been granted.
Although she's told her manager she's an asylum seeker, he still believes he's seen paperwork that proves she can work. Some asylum seekers are given permission to work by UK border agency. He'll need to find the documents to prove this, or could face a £10,000 fine.
Occasionally, very rarely, we give permission to work. So he's looking for a document to confirm that now. He's the one who's been responsible for hiring all 3. Have you seen a passport for any of them, Mr. Trim, no?
No.
Well, he's got a fair few documents down there, so with a bit of luck there'll be something in there that will help us. So it's not there?
Not there, no. I thought I had it.
Okay.
But it's not there.
He can't find the documents he needs. And next door, all that turns up is a driving licence.
All right, that's fine. Like you said, we'll take this down and then we'll just confirm your details, okay?
Downstairs, Officer Collins checks the woman's details on the Home Office database. Her immigration history is extensive. She's had 3 applications to stay in Britain since 1996. They've all been refused. She now has a 4th application in the system for her and her child. Until she gets a decision, she's not supposed to work and must report to the local police station every month.
Driving license upstairs.
She can't work then?
No. We can't find anything to say that she can work. She's got to report. She's got to check in with this immigration and let us know where she is at all times, okay? So what I'm going to do is set her up and report. I'm not going to arrest her, put her in custody. There's a child upstairs and everything else, okay? It's imperative she does that, okay? That way she can start getting some money, because obviously she can't work here again at this point, because obviously 1996, she's been here quite a long time, and if we can get this sorted for her, better for her, okay? And obviously the child.
The manager of the takeaway is fined £20,000 for employing 3 illegal workers.
It seems that apparently what I'm doing is illegal, it's not right, so I have to wait now.
The 2 kitchen workers who tried to escape are taken to a local police station. After further questioning, they were released and asked to report to the police station twice a week. So far, they are complying. In South London, the criminal investigations team have arrested a couple from Guyana, South America. For the last 14 years, they've been using stolen identities to live in Britain.
They have used an identity that's not theirs to claim benefits, and they've received thousands of pounds from the public purse.
They've claimed just over £100,000 in benefits as brother and sister. In reality, they're living together as a married couple. Searching through stacks of documents has revealed this woman's real name is Kamini Sukram. Now the team want evidence to prove the identity of her partner. He was living here using a stolen name, Rajendra Naidu, whilst he was registered with the Home Office as Mark Singh. And just now, they found a bank statement with yet another name, Indra Mohan.
So who's Indra Kumar Mohan then? Who is he to you then? Because the account's in that name and your name, it's a joint account. Indra Kumar Mohan or Kamini Sukram, which is your real name. So who is this guy?
He was like a friend.
Was he an ex-boyfriend or something, or what?
Hey?
Is he an ex-boyfriend?
Yeah.
He's an ex-boyfriend.
You tell us where they are. Everything.
All right. Do you know how much is in it at the moment?
We just found a Guyanese bank statement which had her real name on it and the name of somebody else, Indra Mohan. I suspected that might have been Mark Singh's other real identity, but she said it was some ex-boyfriend in Guyana.
Mark, who's Indra Mohan?
That's her partner.
Okay.
The couple both claim that Indra Mohan is the woman's partner. Officers have found an identity card which could clear up the confusion.
Do you know Mr. Mohan?
No.
You don't know Mr. Mohan? That's strange. That's a picture of Mr. Mohan. That was a Guyana identity card in the name of Indra Mohan, which had Mr. Singh's photograph on it.
With his true identity revealed, a relieved Indra Mohan now wants to come clean.
We were like in prison in here. We cannot go anywhere. I can't go for a holiday nowhere. I can't see my mom who just had heart bypass in New York. I can't even go to see her, and so I'm happy. If I'm going home, I'm happy. I'm just sad enough. I fed up. I was expecting this to come more far more earlier. But at this time.
The confessions continue. Now it's the turn of his partner.
What started all this was as soon as I landed here, then I got pregnant
I wish this thing would happen when he was 3-4 years old.
That's what
So he could have grew up in,
where the lie started.
After 14 years in hiding, this couple has finally been caught out.
Sit in the front, put a seatbelt on from here.
But it's a familiar story for the investigations team.
Identity hijacking is not uncommon. It's rife, really, particularly for people that are desperate to stay in the UK. They'll do anything.
Identity fraud of one sort or the other costs the taxpayer £1.2 billion every year. While fingerprints and photographs are taken at Croydon Police Station, Officer Leonette has made another discovery about the man's real identity.
When we were at the address today, we found an identity in the name of Indra Mohan. We made checks with the Home Office, and it appears that this person arrived in the UK in 1990. There's allegations of domestic violence, and he was either deported or removed in 1991. He wouldn't therefore be allowed to come back in that identity. Hence, that's why he's acquired another identity of Mark Singh.
He left Britain as Indra Mohan and came back illegally as Mark Singh. He then applied to stay in the UK indefinitely using this name.
They've lied to everybody. They knew this was coming, so they'll just have to take the consequences.
The couple from Guyana were remanded in custody. They later pleaded guilty to deception and benefit fraud. They were each sentenced to 8 months in prison. Still held at immigration control is the returning student from India. Officer Lee wants to know why his documents show he studies in 2 places at once.
Just follow me, sir.
But this student can't even remember the name of the college his certificates are from.
Take a seat. You don't know the name of the college where you studied for a whole year?
No, whole year, 6 months.
6 months? You sure? So how long did you study at the second college was my question.
I think 8 months or so.
What subjects did you study?
Well, first year.
For your 8 months at the second college, whose name you can't remember, what subjects did you study?
Can't remember.
You can't tell me what the name of the college was or what you studied while you were there? You've forgotten?
I've got all my documents, you can check that.
Well, I'm asking you, sir, because the only way I can be sure that you've studied here is if you tell me, and you can't tell me anything.
Yeah, because I told you my memory is not so sharp.
That's not an excuse. I know why you can't remember the second one, because you never went there. When did you enrol at Churchill College?
October, I think.
October what year?
2007.
So why then do you have letters from the other college, the second college, saying you were also enrolled at their college at the same time?
What time?
The same time you say you've been studying at Churchill College?
No.
Yes, sir.
Can I have a look?
No, because that will give you the name of the college. One of them's wrong. I have a problem with the fact that you've got documentation in your bags which tells me that you were studying in 2 places at once. You may disagree with me, that's what the documents say. This leads me to believe that you've been less than honest with me so far today.
Listen, this is true.
Don't tell me to listen.
Okay.
I've got the documents. You can't remember what's on there because you never went there. That's why you don't know the name of the college. You've got documents by deception. How you got them, I don't know. All right, so stop messing about because this is ridiculous. Saying you can't remember the name of somewhere you claim to have studied at for 8 months. It's ludicrous. Ludicrous.
Need some time to think.
I can sit here and wait, it's fine. Tell me all the lecturers' names.
Can't remember.
Tell me what exam you sat last.
Can't
Tell me
remember,
what the title of the exam was.
I told you I can't remember right now.
Why not?
Because my mind is not steady. I told you. My mind is all messed up. I can't remember. I need some time.
Rubbish.
It's not rubbish.
You've been found out. You don't know the answers because you're not studying anything. It's quite frustrating because I know that anyone with any credibility as a student would remember the answers to my questions. You know, where did you study? He can't remember a whole year of his life. It's quite obvious he's got something to hide. Quite clearly he's trying to conceal something about his past here. It may well be that he has been attending college, the current college. The problem I have is how can I be sure of that if he's telling me he can't remember his tutors' names, the modules he sat, when he sat an exam, or what exam he sat. It's just nonsense.
Officer Lee is convinced he's not been studying, but without hard evidence, there's little to go on. She talks it over with her chief immigration officer.
All I have is that he has absolutely no idea. He just can't remember anything about his college. He can remember his journey there. He can remember a bit about what he does at work, but every time you ask him anything academic, he's got no idea. College is saying he's attending, but at the moment he's not satisfying me that he is. But I don't know what we can do, because clearly I don't think we have enough at the moment.
No, because if it went to appeal, what we'll have is the college saying yes, he's attended, yes, he's got all these pass marks. We're the educational provider. We know if someone's a good student or not. Well, we haven't got enough to go on.
No.
Personally, I think we're flogging a dead horse.
I know. As frustrating as it is. I shall tell him the good news. He'll be thrilled.
I'm sure he will be.
As one of the colleges says he's studying there, and there is no evidence to say otherwise, Officer Lee has no choice but to allow him into Britain.
Right, it's your lucky day. All right? You awake? You understand what I'm saying, yeah? My chief immigration officer and I have spoken about you at length, all right? Now, whilst I'm not satisfied that you're studying here, at the moment I don't have enough to cancel your visa. So you're being allowed to enter today, all right? However, when your visa comes up for renewal in November, you'd better hope that you can remember by then what you've been studying. Otherwise you're going to have a problem, all right?
So I think it was a bit stress, but end of the day it was quite good to a happy ending, what you say. I'll try and remember next time.
Unless I have an admission from him or from the college or from his employer that he has done something in breach of his visa conditions, I have no choice but to grant him entry.
No work, only sleep, eat.
Maybe some studying?
Yeah, of course. All right, bye.
It's 11 p.m. in South Wales and the enforcement team is looking for illegal workers.
Specific intelligence was that illegal workers would be there after 10 o'clock, so that's why we're there at this time of night.
This team raids 150 takeaways every year in the search for immigration offenders. Tonight they're visiting a kebab shop.
Good evening, fellas. Immigration. We've got a warrant to come in.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Let's do what you're doing.
Hello!
Officers search the premises for employees, even if it means waking them up.
Hello, mate. Immigration Service. Got a warrant to enter the premises. Do you want to get yourself up, please?
Downstairs, Officer Collins begins to question a man he found in the kitchen.
Nationality. Where are you from?
I am from Turkey.
Turkey. Where are you living? Upstairs.
Abi,
is he sleeping upstairs? Is he living upstairs in the flat? Are you here on a work permit?
Work permit?
You got in your passport. What have you got? Okay, wait there.
Can I take?
Yeah, 1 second. He's got a passport upstairs there as well.
As officers search for the Turkish man's passport, the man who's just woken up faces a grilling from immigration.
So you've applied to stay here, have you? You're Albanian?
Albanian, yes.
Have you claimed asylum?
Yes.
Right, you've claimed asylum. And this chap, yeah, he's claimed asylum.
application outstanding at the moment. Technically it was out of time, but there's a bit of grace period and it's accepted that it was within time even though it was out of time. Final one. So technically...
So we're still waiting for that.
This Albanian man came to Britain in 2001, aged 15.
Right. Where's your passport?
He was given permission to stay until he became an adult. He's since applied for asylum and is waiting for a decision. Upstairs, officers have found the passport they've been looking for.
Just like you.
Basically, he's presented us with a Turkish passport. He's got a visit visa in it, visit student, but the visa clearly states no work or recourse to public funds.
Second name, Akbas Alpha Kilo Bravo Alpha Sierra. He's got a student visa here.
This man came into the country as a student for a 1-month English course. It finished 3 weeks ago. His visa says he's not allowed to work here because he was studying on a short-term basis.
If he has been working, then he'll be deemed to be working in breach of his entry conditions and he may well stand to be arrested.
We caught him working in the rear. Oh yeah, he was behind the counter. So this course in St Giles, down in Eastbourne, that you took a month over, that's what you were supposed to come in for. You were supposed to leave after that. Yeah, so why didn't you leave after it? Okay. I think you've been working here. He's trying to improve his English, that's what he's been doing, I know he has. That's what he's been doing.
This student won't admit he's been working, but officers spot the kebab shop has CCTV. Maybe the truth will be on there.
That's one, yeah. It was him, yeah.
Just see this gentleman here serving a customer. He's saying he's not working here. Obviously, the evidence there is that he is.
Red T-shirt, gentleman working with red T-shirt. That's you, serving a customer.
So, and if we play this tape back over a longer period, it's going to be on there, isn't it? A lot more. So you might as well come clean and just tell us because we're going to play it back. We've got documentary evidence there that he's actually working. So he's working in breach of his conditions of his stay. I am now going to arrest him for working in breach, okay? It's a dead giveaway. I mean, it's a double-edged weapon. It protects them, gives them a bit of security, but then it works against them and shows them working. Yeah.
With the video evidence showing he works there, the student from Turkey is arrested and transferred to an immigration removal centre before being deported.
Back down, straight to the front.
At Terminal 3, an Australian man has been stopped at passport control. Chief Dyson hands the case over to immigration officer Brendan Bruce.
Australian male, 4 months holiday, single ticket, 3,500 Australian dollars, which is what, 1,500 quid?
1,500, 2,000, yeah.
Going to stay with some friends in the UK. He also applied for the Youth Mobility Scheme, the working holiday maker kind of thing, and was refused. He's basically been to the consulate, said, I want to live and work in the UK for at least a limited period. We've said no, doesn't have a job to go back to, doesn't have that much money.
Has his bags been done?
Don't believe they have.
Okay, we'll start with that. We'll go straight down and do that now.
The passenger has been stopped because the immigration team believes he doesn't have enough money for a 4-month holiday. That, and just 3 weeks ago, he was refused a UK work permit.
I'm going to take you downstairs now for a baggage inspection. We're going to go straight down.
He'll have to convince Officer Bruce that he's not here to work. A bag search may help the officer find any evidence of the man's intentions for his trip to Britain.
Did you pack in a hurry?
Yes.
The passenger seems nervous.
Try to relax. Try to relax. You're going tense.
Officer Bruce finds a mask, which may or may not be work-related.
You're looking nervous.
This man is carrying some strange clothes. But are they a concern for immigration? This document might be.
I found a letter of sorts, or a contract. It says a contract between master and slave. This contract is between the master and the slave. This contract is made with the full legal consent of both parties. The slave must learn to desire what the master wants. Signed by the passenger as the slave, dated the 5th of June 2008. That is not an employment contract as I would see it. So it's just, I think, a bit of interesting reading.
Officer Bruce is content the passenger's contract is not a sign of employment. But he still has concerns about the passenger's funds.
Okay, I'm going to go and interview the gentleman now. Mr. Goff?
The immigration interview gives Officer Bruce a chance to find out about the passenger's trip and the items in his bag.
Okay, the equipment you have in your bag, if you're coming here for a short holiday, why do you have all of that with you? Your clothing, your fetish clothing.
Why?
Fetish clothing.
I intend to hopefully use it whilst I'm here.
Okay, you have a contract with your master. Where is your master currently?
I have no idea.
Will you receive any form of cash payment for using your equipment?
Absolutely not.
Okay, what do you have to return to in Australia?
Okay, I have a couple of pets. Obviously all my friends and family are in Australia. My life is in Australia.
I don't believe he can afford to be here. He's got £1,500 to last, including paying for at least partial rent, food, whatever transport he intends to do, whatever things he intends to do while he's here. He just doesn't have the funds.
Officer Bruce will now consult his Chief Immigration Officer, Sarah Dyson.
Let's think about what he really needs to survive in the UK, in London. You know, even living on beans and jacket potatoes for 4 months, it doesn't really hang together. And we know that he wanted to work here because we've got the evidence. You know, he applied for that visa and got only refused 3 weeks ago, didn't he?
So I'm recommending refuse leave to enter and return him to his country. I just want to come outside. I just need to explain something to you.
Sure.
Okay. The situation is this. Due to your current circumstances, I'm not satisfied. You are going to be refused entry to the UK today. So would you prefer to go tonight or take a flight tomorrow?
Might as well be tonight.
His lack of funds makes the immigration team suspicious he's here to work. He's refused entry and sent back to Australia on the next available flight.